Video 87. Questions about Alex Jones. Past lives as asked by Backtoconstitution in yet another phone call to groovyev, in which the ancient spirit tralaka then came forth to answer the questions once again. Now, the inner spirit of the well-known, world-known Alex Jones. Where does his far past lives lead from? He is primarily from the Vega systems of planets and moons. There is a sizable numbers of those in the Vega systems of planets, and some of them, when they're bumping up against the Pleiadian systems, there is this cross histories of draconian bloodlines that are still within there yet today. For Alex, though, in past lives, that part of the draconian blood that has been in his family lines, he is unique, though, very unique. Though in past lives have shown some Pleiadian character of reason in his humanoid body build and character, he is predominantly in past lives from the colony planets of different ones in the Vega systems of planets that are the farthest from the Pleiades. In those past lives, he was known as a pathfinder, a very hard occupation, one who got paid really good amounts of credits to find different beings of different species who many times were feared by the families paying him or government that these beings would be dead or much worse. For there's things that are much worse than death. It is here that 1/3 draconian blood in Alex served him very, very well. Here, what is known is that he enjoyed this so much, this occupation. He did these same occupations many lifetimes in a row, going way back to his earliest lives in the Vega star system. That the once here, the inner spirit of Alex Jones in those past lives, who would have gathered information about his latest case, and he was relentless in his pursuits. He was well known for times of him going into very risky situations without waiting for the law of any form, shape, or size to show up. And he would deal with the issue himself. During those past lives, thus spoke, he was just over 6 foot tall, unusual for a Vegan or a Pleiadian, because most of the time they run between 8 and 9 feet tall, especially from his part draconian bloodline. Yet there he was, just a little bit over 6 feet in height, which added in the mystery about him. Though he had laser blue eyes that missed nothing, nothing would be missed when he's gazing at something, demanding it surrender its information. And flowing, long, blonde, dark hair that reached past his shoulders. He was built like a warrior, though short and only a little over 6 feet high. Never seemed to have crossed his mind, though, as he would get into the fight with beings nearly a foot and a half, sometimes more than 2 feet taller than him, to get that information, to obtain what he has been paid for to bring back, whether it was a being of a different species or information to uncover and bring to the public, or a very private client. This gained him both respect from his clients and many levels of between fear and hatred from his adversaries, and those were many in the count. On the normal times, he was relaxed and calm, as many of the Vega systems of planet beings are known to be. He enjoyed, though it was rare, to steal away to an area moon that had been terraformed and relax in the young nature surroundings, taking many notes about those places which he would visit in times where he needed to rebuild himself and take some time to think, which he kept in a very private vault, hidden very carefully within the walls and layers of walls in his office. Inside, though, that inside of that side of draconian blood was the always ready to push the limits farther, to look to have a case someday so far outside his norm that would even make his side of the dragon blood shake. It would come into his life when he got into his 6th lifetimes of doing what he loved doing so much. It was the case of the missing colonist, where insanity met horror and horror met the unbelievable, even for a seasoned in many lives pathfinder. Here was Alex once again in the mix. Both sleeves ripped off of his newest uniform, and he took pride in his uniforms. To hold that one possible survivor of the colony's heart from bleeding out is pure black blood. But he thought, is this an actual survivor? Or am I bringing somebody back that should probably be dead? Alex's arms veins bulged and ready for the impossible. Never had he been in an area that mocked even the darkness of space on any planet he'd ever been to. He smiled. This was the perfect case. Life number 6. Later, after more than 9 lifetimes of this enjoying careers of being a pathfinder, he was approached one solar afternoon when he was unlocking his building to get into his office by a higher council member who stopped to ask him if he would take the invitation from the council to spend the next life on a remote planet called Earth in the middle of absolutely nowhere that had intense levels of political slavery and plans for the whole planet. Alex replies, those of us being sent to that remote planet have one lifetime to get things put together and awaken the public to the horror's plan and aid in turning things around? The council member smiles at him and nods with a yes. Alex smiles really brightly. Well, I guess I am going to Earth. Remember, my friends, journey to understand the much greater things in the living universe. Expand your mind. Understand the pathways of your inner spirit. Ancient journeys which belong to you alone and nobody else. As you understand your past, you can understand better what you are doing in the present. As always, help to enrich your outer expressions of life and its possibilities. This here is the Ancient Spirit Tralaka. Good night.